Hey everybody. So it is 9 o'clock, officially time for the live stream. Big announcement. In fact, I have a few different announcements, and hopefully I can answer any questions that you have as well. I see that there are a few of you at least who are here. Um, so this is going to be saved, of course, if people want to look at it later on. But yeah, so I am Carly Stevens. I'm a teacher and author, and this is English Nerd. This is a channel that I have uh, had a great time building up, and I want to begin by saying that I am not shutting the channel down. I am continuing on with the channel. I am going to take June and July off. I have one more video scheduled for next week, but then the rest of June and July will be totally off, and then I'll return with more videos in August. So um, yeah, that is the first thing. I will have some surprises in August, but I'm gonna hang on to some of those. So the bigger announcement is that I'm a teacher and author, right? I write books. This whole top shelf is mine, my books. And I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher at heart. I've taught in a variety of forums, including this channel. But this is my last year teaching high school. I'm actually quitting my job after 13 years of teaching, which is pretty wild. I have a lot of mixed feelings about it. I wanted to explain a little bit of my reasoning here on this channel and kind of just let you know what was going on, because that will no longer be my intro, teacher and author, because I'll still be teaching here and there, but it'll be more like webinars on creative writing and things like that, rather than being a full-time teacher, which is just crazy. So hey, thank you everybody who has joined. I see that there's another author with us, and then hi Summer. I didn't expect you to be tuning in, but yeah, here we are. So I'm not quitting. I just want to make it very clear. I'm not quitting because I hate teaching. That is incorrect. I'm not quitting because I hate the school. There's not this great sense of bitterness that I see sometimes accompanying teachers quitting online. I still love the teaching part of teaching, but I am incredibly tired of a lot of other aspects of it. I'm tired of grading. I've graded tens of thousands of pieces of homework over my life, and I just don't want to have that hanging over my head anymore. I want to try something else. There's also just the fact that I have taught for 13 years, and I have taught sophomores for that entire time because it's my favorite age group. It's my favorite curriculum that the school has. Hamlet is in there, for example. But I've done it for 13 years, and I'm kind of ready for a change, something different, something maybe with a little less responsibility, a little more flexibility. I want to be able to travel on off times, and I've never been able to do that because my life has been dominated by a school schedule for all of time, basically, which has its pros and cons. I really have enjoyed having the summers to do things in a couple weeks at around Christmas time, but yeah, I'm ready for a change. I there are lots of other smaller reasons why I'm quitting my job, but some of the main ones are just I'm ready to not do that. I'm ready to not have lunch duty. I'm ready to not have to watch out for dress code. I'm ready to not deal with students' parents. Most of whom are very kind, um, but just it's those that small percentage that really can make life sort of hellish when they when they want to, and I would just rather not deal with that. And since I've been going part time for a couple years, as you might know, if you've been around the channel, I just don't feel as connected either. I don't know all the students like I used to. I don't know all the teachers like I used to, and I just don't have that sense of belonging and ownership that I used to have to kind of offset some of those difficult elements of the job. So yeah, yeah, I'm quitting my teacher job. I will continue to look for opportunities to teach at conferences and things like that. So if you're interested in those, my I tend to announce where I'll be teaching and showing up through my newsletter. So you can always go to carly-stevens.com if you haven't signed up for my newsletter, because there's an event kind of section at the bottom that has book signings, and if I'm teaching a class or something, I'll put it there. So yeah, quitting my job. The channel is going to continue. I'm thinking there it is very probable that I'm going to adjust a couple of things with the channel. But that said, if you have any recommendations for academic Englishy writing literature videos that you would like to see, please do let me know. You can let me know in the comments of this video, or you can just there are lots of ways to find me. You can respond to it, one of my newsletters directly. I get all of those emails. But yeah, let me know what you would like to see. I obviously have lots of ideas, but I want to continue to give you content that you actually want as well. Um, as far as what I'm going to be doing personally moving forward, I am going to definitely continue focusing on my writing career. And something that I am announcing broadly today, on social media and all of that, is that I have a 1 volume Tanuan Academy series coming out. So they're all three really thick books, but I did manage to squeeze them into a huge sized book that you can pre order as of today. The Tanuan Academy series omnibus. Let me show you. Look at that cover. Isn't it beautiful? It's so gorgeous. Yeah, so that'll be available in every format. All of them are available for pre-order, except for audio is not yet ready and assimilated in all the platforms. But hardcover, which has some design surprises, paperback, and ebook are all out there if you want to pre-order that. If you were interested in reading that young adult fantasy series already, you'll save like half if you get the big the big the big boy, I guess. Um, yeah, the last thing I wanted to do in this live announcement is so I've been at the same school teaching the same grade level for the most part. I mean, also I've taught AP seniors. I've taught a variety of electives, the Lord of the Rings elective, a Shakespeare elective, creative writing electives, that kind of thing. But when it got tough, I knew I needed something to remind me of like why I do this in the first place, because there are a lot of positives in teaching, even though there are also a lot of negatives. So I have brought home my folder, which, as you can see, is labeled "Why I Do This Job," and I haven't actually opened it ever. So this is where I've put some of the most meaningful, cards, and I don't even know what is all in here, but it's when I felt like, yes, this is why I do this, I would stick it in this folder, and this is 13 years worth of that stuff built up. So yeah, this is kind of a farewell. I just gave my last final exam on Friday. I have this next upcoming week to finish grading and kind of do all the closing out stuff. And there is quite a lot of closing out stuff to do, packing and everything. But yeah, I wanted to share this. I doubt that I'm going to open up every piece of mail. That would just be like endless. Um, but I'm at least going to look at some of it. I'll probably get a little weepy. No promises one way or another. So let's just see what we have in here. All right, let's take out a few things. All right. Um, some of this is going to get a little tricky because I don't want to show any like pictures of kids or things like that. That's kind of inappropriate on the channel. But here is somebody getting into the University of Wyoming. I was really close to that student. Congrats! She's since graduated. I have stayed in touch. Oh, here's a note from he was just the sweetest kid. He went to Yale, and everybody loved him. I'm so glad you taught me both sophomore and senior year. From your classes, I learned that People are important. I've learned to try and see people in their backgrounds or their stories and understand where they're coming from. I've started to grasp why literature is so important. Our books help us remember our history and see the humanity in each other to provoke change. Whew, man, that was fast. I didn't expect the first letter to get me. Yeah, that's why I do this. Oh gosh. Okay, another thank you note. Let's see. Whew, my goodness. Okay. Thank you note that is not as weepy. Thank goodness. I'm gonna have to decide what to keep in this. It's such a humongous folder. It's not really reasonable to like take it around, you know. My goodness. Here's another thank you note. It's gonna be a lot of sweet thank you notes, I think. But we'll see. Because like I've had a lot of really good students, you know. There have been a couple other students in there, but for the most part, they've just been, they're really like good people, or they're on their way toward that. So, yeah, thank you for everything you've done this year, and I'm excited to read your book this summer. Oh, that's sweet. Hopefully, you liked it. Never that was, I think when he graduated. Okay. All right, this is somebody in administration just leaving a note thanking me for, being a energetic, engaged, and thought-provoking teacher who gives good lectures and stuff. Let's see. I wrote myself a little note about some interactions that I had for during graduation 2 years ago, graduation 2022. So I ran into one guy who told me that he used my class outro, "Have a good life, be of good cheer," every day. So he streams on Twitch and he uses my outro, and he wanted to let me know, which is really sweet. There was another student who showed me a Hamlet tattoo she had gotten, and she studied Hamlet in my class. And then two other people cried and said how much I had meant to them as a teacher. So that was a good graduation. That level of good stuff doesn't happen all the time, which is why it goes in the folder, right? Goes in the folder of why I do this job. Look at this note. So it's like a homemade uh, note here. Um, yeah, I really enjoyed your classes, the whole Hamlet unit. Hopefully, you find a lot of inspiration. Oh, that's so sweet. See, I told you all these kids are just so sweet. And then this one is from somebody that I co-taught with. So I taught most of the sophomores, and she taught like the other group of them. Um, so it's let's see. Your persistent effort and support helped to give me the confidence to face a room full of teenagers when I sometimes felt like hardly more than teenager myself. I'm lucky to have had you as a mentor, but even more so as a friend. The impact you've had on the school and on me is greater than you know. It's really nice to hear these things because, as like, I'm sure it's the same kind of like being a parent, you have these moments where you're like, yes, people see like what I've put into this, but you don't always get like positive feedback. Instead, you have like a group of teenagers just kind of staring at you, you know, with blank looks on their faces, or, they don't want to write that paper, or, you get some annoyed email or whatever. Anyhow, so it's really incredible when you do have people intentionally reach out and say that you've made a positive impact, because that was always my hope. My plan was to do a good job and make a difference, with people by teaching them what I think is genuinely important. Like, we're not just checking boxes here with literature and writing, which hopefully you've noticed, as if you watch the channel. It's not about just checking a box. It's about learning about life and learning how to think better, and express yourself more clearly. Like there's underlying stuff that's really genuinely important about English class when it's done right, you know? Okay, the live continues. So I don't know if anybody is joining us, but so I've quit my job as a teacher and I'm reading the why I do this job folder. All right, here is another thank you note. It has a little pop up. Look how cute that is. Um, I love having you as a teacher. You make me love English even more than I already did. And that was just like before Thanksgiving break, which is kind of an odd time to write a thank you note, but how sweet is that? Goodness. Um, I hope you had a good teacher appreciation week, says this student. And if not, I hope this gift might make it a little better, even if it's just a tiny bit. Oh, that's so cute and sweet. So I put on a 12th night production a couple years ago. It went a little sideways, but we had a good time with that. All right, who is this? Can't even really read whose that is. Um, oh, I know who this is. It's somebody who works at the school, and I taught a couple of her kids. Just the her signature looked a little funky. Let's see. I would not want the end of the year to come before I say thank you. This student loved her semester in the Shakespearean lit class. You helped her bring the bard alive to her. She is disgusted that my husband and I do not know more of his works. Thank you for your investment in the school over many years. I appreciate how you've kept the bar high. Also, excellent job on the 12th night production. Okay, so this was like almost at the exact same time then. Kids obviously had a blast performing it, and you had a and you were a good sport to act in it as well. Yeah, I had to act in it because there was a student who just told me last minute, "Oh, by the way, I won't be there that day." And I said, "Are you kidding me? You're not gonna be there that day?" So I had to memorize all of her lines and step in. It was just horrifying. Oh, geez. Okay, let's look at a few more of these. We don't need to read them all because it's a big folder, but I had a sense that I was going to open this up and read it and really absorb like the difference that I have made when I left because I suspected that I wouldn't do this for 20 years. I always looked at each year and I'm like, do the pros outweigh the cons? And year after year, the pros did outweigh the cons. Then the pandemic hit, and I'm like, okay, I can survive this because the pros will outweigh the cons next year. um, and then it just kind of started to fall off for me, and I was ready to kind of explore different parts of myself too, like just kind of small, silly things. Like I really enjoy dyeing my hair purple, and I can't have purple hair at the school. It's not a reason to quit my job, but it's just one of those things. Like I kind of want to see what else is out there for me. Like how can I leverage my author career? How can I try something new and challenge myself with something new and a little funkier. So yeah. Uh oh, how sweet. This is a thank you from my entire class from the first Shakespeare elective that I taught when they put Hamlet on, and they did just an exceptional job putting on a full length version of Hamlet. Um, Thank you for putting up with all my sass. You've been a wonderful teacher. Signed, Hamlet, the sassy Prince of Denmark. Yeah, I remember who played Hamlet. She was just an amazing person, really. Goodness, let's just do a couple more of these. I don't know how much you want to stay for. The weepy retrospective of me, but um, it's been a little bit hard letting go of the good parts of teaching, which is one of the reasons why I haven't decided to leave for so long. So any well wishes that you have, I'll take them. I can tell that this is the right decision for me right now. To do something different, to break out of the routine that I've had for so long. Um, but it's tough, when this is what you're able to do while you're there, teaching high school. Okay. All right, just a couple more, and then I'll call it quits here with the live stream. But thank you for those who did join me for this announcement and and kind of look back at my years as a teacher. I'm not going to slam that door closed of ever going back to teaching, but I think it's unlikely that I'll go back in the same capacity. A full time high school teacher. Um, I'll teach somehow, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay, here's another very pretty card. Look at that. It kind of this 3D. You are one of the best teachers I have had. Your passion for literature is inspiring and makes class so much more fun. Thank you so much for the effort and time you give your students. I'll miss having you as my teacher, and I'm extremely appreciative for the times you listen to my concerns and helped me, made me feel safe and heard. I have loved taking your class. That was the evil plan with her. That's great. Ah, my goodness. Uh, let's see. Here's another one. I am so happy to have you as a teacher again this year. I enjoyed English so much sophomore year that when I realized I could take AP Lit, I did not hesitate to sign up. You teach English well, and I always enjoy the stories you tell us about books or your family during class. I don't actually talk about my family all that much, but you are such a sweet person, and I'm excited to finish the end of the school year strong. That is not a very common sentiment with seniors, I found. So yes, thank you, student who shall remain anonymous, because I'm trying to preserve, teaching privacy stuff. This one has a look at that. There's like a dried flower or something in there. Oh, look at that tiny little writing. This is from the student that actually made it. You can't really see it over here, but the crocheted Furion and Curia that are like lurking in the back of my bookshelf there. The little Furion is the cutest. There's this little like Tanuan Academy coat and everything. It's too much. So it's that student. And I think, if I remember correctly, this note came with that gift. Um, excuse me. Let's see. First things first, I want to take a minute to thank you for giving your time to write a letter of recommendation for me. No problem. She deserved it. It wasn't that hard. Well, I obviously have never been a teacher. I would imagine that all your responsibilities on your plate can get overwhelming pretty easily, especially at this school and as an English teacher. No doubt. So I truly appreciate that you are willing to give up some of your scarce time to assist me in paving the next steps in life. That's very nice because it's true. Like I want to write letters of recommendation, but I don't want to write letters of recommendation because they take a while and there was always stuff going on. I also wanted to take this opportunity to let you know just how much I appreciate you. Ever since you taught me sophomore year, I was struck by your passion for literature. While you would always present lessons cheerfully, it was always extra special to watch your excitement when you reached some of your favorite works. I have a distinct memory of you doing a series of little jumps in front of the classroom when we were studying Hamlet. It's true. This is not feigned excitement that I have for Hamlet and A Tale of Two Cities and some of these books. This has continued still this year, though your random bursts into song and excited discussions about authors' masterful manipulation of form to match the ideas they communicate. Another thing I noticed this year is how your attitude never changes. From the sound of it, this is an extremely busy and stressful time of year for you, and yet you greet us each morning with the same smile, regardless of how much you have going on. Man, that is very. That's very nice that anybody noticed. That like I try to be nice and consistent even when I'm not in a good mood, or I don't even when I don't really get along with certain students. I get along with almost every student, but if you've been a teacher, every once in a while there are people that kind of are a little more difficult to get along with, and I try to never let any of that like affect the way I interact with them, or treat them, I always try to be nice. All right. Anyway, I still have this much of a folder. 13 years is a long time. But gosh, how lucky am I to have so many notes and stuff like this. So, to those of you who actually did stick around to watch me open some of these letters, thank you for being on this journey with me. Again, if you are, just joining in the last couple minutes, the big announcement, personally, is that I am quitting my high school teaching job this year. I just have a couple more days to kind of cross some T's, dot some I's, and that is it. The channel is going to continue, but it's going to take a summer break just because, as an academic channel, it doesn't have as much traction in the summertime anyway. So I'll be back with a vengeance in August. I will continue on. And then writing wise, the Tanuan Academy Complete series is available for pre order now. If you never had the chance to read the young adult fantasy series that launched 5 years ago, there is an anniversary omnibus edition coming out this fall. That I'm excited about. I should be getting the first copies in the mail here the next couple days, and I am so excited to see the way they turned out. Thank you. Send me any recommendations for academic videos or resources you think would be helpful to you as a teacher or a student. So, um, yeah, thank you. Thank you for everything. Thank you for making this channel a success. I'd appreciate if you shared it with other people you think would enjoy or get something out of this channel. But I'm gonna log off. So that's it for now. I'm going to take a look at the rest of this folder on my own. But yeah, that's it. Thank you for joining me for this live, and I'll see you for one more video next week before I take a summer hiatus. All right, have a good life. Be of good cheer.